Hey Lakers fans, welcome back. Today we're diving into some of the latest updates surrounding the team, and things are starting to get really interesting as the trade deadline approaches. Now, if the Lakers are going to make any moves, the timing is crucial, and all signs are pointing to some activity right after tonight's game. There are several factors that make this moment the most likely window for a trade, and it's important to break them down so you can understand why the Lakers might act now rather than later. First, the trade deadline is looming, just about a day and a half away, and time is running out fast. If management is serious about improving the roster, waiting too long could limit their options. But beyond the urgency of the calendar, there's also the fact that the Lakers have just wrapped up an extended road trip. This isn't your typical 2 or 3 game swing. This was a full stretch of 8 road games, covering stops in multiple cities. Making a trade while traveling for that long is far more complicated than it seems. For one, integrating a new player mid-trip comes with logistical headaches. Imagine trading for a player who has to fly across the country just to meet the team for testing and paperwork, only to immediately jump on another flight to join the Lakers in the next city. The coordination alone can be a real barrier, and teams usually try to avoid this if possible. That's why the timing right after this Brooklyn Nets game makes sense. The Lakers will be returning home for a long stretch of games, 8 consecutive home contests. In fact, this homestand provides the perfect environment to bring in new talent and start blending them into the roster. When a team acquires a player, it's not just about signing the paperwork. There's practice time, system acclimation, and building chemistry with the existing core. Being on the road doesn't allow for that kind of preparation. When you're traveling, the schedule is tight, practice time is limited, and games are back-to-back. It's hard to get a new player comfortable and fully integrated under those conditions. Extended home stretches change everything. After a trade, the Lakers will be able to run walkthroughs, focus on positional adjustments, and give new players a proper feel for the team's offensive and defensive schemes. They'll be able to work directly with the coaching staff on individual responsibilities and how each player fits into different lineups. For example, when a new guard steps onto the court alongside LeBron, the team can spend time ensuring he knows spacing, timing, and the nuances of LeBron's playmaking. The same goes for when he's on the floor with other key pieces, making sure every rotation and handoff is understood. This isn't just about learning plays. It's about embedding the player into the culture and rhythm of the team, something that is much harder to accomplish on the road. Logistics are also a huge factor. Travel delays, weather issues, and condensed schedules can create further complications during road trips. A player flying in to join a team mid-trip has to navigate all these variables, potentially delaying their ability to contribute immediately. The Lakers have already experienced some travel disruptions, and it just adds another layer of difficulty to executing a trade while away from home. By waiting until they return, they eliminate most of these challenges and create a smoother transition. Another thing to consider is the health and availability of key players. Injuries and cautious management of minutes can sometimes signal trade possibilities. For instance, players being listed as questionable or sitting out doesn't always mean they're hurt. It could be a precaution to ensure readiness for potential trades. The team has to balance winning games in the short term while also preparing for new additions. That's why trades often happen after a game concludes, when the immediate on-court needs are less pressing and there's more flexibility to finalize deals and start the integration process. Keeping an eye on who is available and how other teams are acting is critical too. The league landscape can change quickly, and availability shifts almost by the hour. Players who were once considered possible trade options can suddenly become off-limits, while others unexpectedly enter the market. The Lakers have to remain nimble, watching signals from other franchises while also managing internal priorities. Trades aren't just about acquiring talent. They're about timing, opportunity, and making sure the new pieces complement the team without disrupting momentum. When it comes to individual players, certain names have been the focus of speculation. Role players often see more movement because they are easier to integrate quickly, while franchise cornerstones like LeBron or key stars are generally untouchable. The coaching staff and front office need to determine how any new player will fit in terms of minutes, role, and chemistry. The extended home stand after the trade deadline gives them the luxury of adjusting rotations, running full practices, and figuring out the optimal lineup before jumping back into consecutive road games. Fans should also consider how the timing of trades can affect team performance immediately. Bringing in a new player mid-season requires careful planning to avoid disrupting team rhythm. Coaches often prefer to introduce new pieces in a controlled environment where practices can be structured and the focus can be on learning instead of constant travel. This ensures that the roster change strengthens the team rather than creating additional challenges during an already demanding schedule. Overall, everything points to the period following tonight's Brooklyn game as the most likely window for a significant roster move. The combination of a long homestand, logistical simplicity, and the ability to properly integrate new talent makes it a strategic choice. While trades can happen unexpectedly, the Lakers have the chance to maximize the impact of any acquisitions by timing them right. The post-game period allows for finalizing deals, ensuring player readiness, and starting the process of embedding new contributors into the team structure. The strategy behind timing trades this way shows that management isn't just reacting. They're planning carefully to maintain competitiveness while also addressing roster needs. When a player joins, it's not only about their individual skill, but also how quickly they can become a productive part of the lineup. With practices, walkthroughs, and controlled integration, the Lakers can ensure that every new addition is positioned for success, ultimately benefiting the team in the short term and laying the groundwork for deeper cohesion as the season progresses. Looking ahead, the Lakers' home stretch after the trade deadline isn't just about adding a new player. It's about creating a rhythm and stability that the team hasn't had on the road. Extended travel takes a toll, and coming back home allows the coaching staff to set the tone in practices, implement new strategies, and give everyone a chance to acclimate. A player joining mid-season needs time to adjust to the system, to understand the plays, rotations, and how teammates move on the floor. Without that, even the most talented additions can struggle to make an immediate impact. Being at home, the Lakers can conduct walkthroughs, focus on communication, and break down the nuances that make the team click. Every game during this stretch becomes an opportunity to test new lineups and evaluate how new pieces integrate into the existing roster. Coaches can see how rotations affect both offense and defense, identify mismatches, and adjust accordingly. This controlled environment is far superior to trying to figure out chemistry while bouncing between cities and time zones. Even subtle details like understanding spacing, timing for cuts, and knowing where teammates will be in transition can take several games to learn, and the Lakers now have the luxury of time to refine these elements without the pressure of immediate back-to-back matchups on the road. Another angle to consider is how trades affect player morale and team dynamics. When new faces join a team mid-season, the culture of the locker room can shift, sometimes subtly. The coaching staff has to make sure that everyone buys into the new setup quickly. Having an extended period at home allows for team meetings, individual conversations, and structured practice sessions where players can gel both on and off the court. This is crucial for building trust and ensuring everyone is aligned with the team's goals. The Lakers' leaders, particularly LeBron, play a central role in helping newcomers settle in and understand expectations, both in terms of performance and team culture. In terms of strategic planning, the timing also affects scouting and decision-making. By waiting until after tonight's game, the Lakers have a clearer picture of roster needs, injury concerns, and available talent across the league. This allows management to act decisively, rather than making a rushed decision that could backfire. Trades aren't just about getting talent. They're about finding the right fit, someone who complements the existing core and helps the team in the long run. The home stretch after the deadline is perfect for this, because new additions can practice with the team, learn the system, and immediately contribute without the added stress of travel. Health management is another big factor. Sitting key players for short periods, monitoring injuries, and ensuring everyone is at peak performance is easier during a homestand. When a new player arrives, they can be eased into the rotation without sacrificing team performance. This also reduces the risk of injury that comes from overexertion or miscommunication on the court. For example, players who are joining mid-season can take part in controlled scrimmages and individual drills to understand defensive assignments and offensive responsibilities. These controlled sessions help prevent missteps in actual games and allow the coaching staff to evaluate performance in a low-pressure environment. Looking at individual roles, it becomes clear why timing is everything. A trade that brings in a key role player can immediately impact minutes distribution, play calling, and lineup efficiency. Coaches need time to identify how best to utilize that player without disrupting existing chemistry. For instance, integrating a scoring guard alongside LeBron or Anthony Davis requires understanding pick-and-roll timing, spacing, and defensive rotations. Doing this on the road, with games every other night, leaves very little room for adjustment. At home, it's possible to run drills, focus on communication, and build confidence in real-game scenarios. From a fan perspective, this period is incredibly exciting because every game becomes a chance to witness the team evolve. New talent, strategic adjustments, and the refinement of rotations make the Lakers unpredictable in a positive way. Each contest allows for experimentation with lineups, giving both the coaching staff and fans a glimpse of how the roster could perform at its peak. This extended period of observation and adaptation is crucial for evaluating the impact of any trade and understanding how new players complement the existing stars. Management also benefits from the extended home schedule because it provides breathing room for evaluating additional trade opportunities. Sometimes, deals don't materialize immediately, and having multiple home games allows the front office to react to developments across the league. If another team suddenly becomes willing to part with a player who could be a perfect fit, the Lakers can move quickly, knowing the roster has room for integration. Being at home simplifies logistics for medical evaluations, contract processing, and travel coordination, all of which can slow down mid-season acquisitions on the road. One of the most important aspects of this period is the opportunity for building chemistry with star players. Integrating a new addition into rotations alongside LeBron requires careful planning. The same applies when they share the floor with other key contributors, like Anthony Davis or a versatile forward. Time at home allows for focused practice sessions, where the nuances of communication, timing, and spacing are reinforced. This is critical for executing high-level plays, both offensively and defensively. Every possession can be practiced, mistakes can be corrected in a low-stakes environment, and new players can gain confidence in their role. It's also worth noting that the Lakers' extended home schedule after the trade deadline provides an opportunity to stabilize performance in critical games. Momentum is key in a long season, and the ability to have consistent practices and structured lineups can prevent early season volatility from carrying over into this stretch. The coaching staff can simulate game conditions, test different strategies, and fine-tune rotations while maintaining energy levels and focus. This approach ensures that any new additions are seamlessly incorporated into the team's long-term strategy rather than being thrown into the chaos of back-to-back road games. Fans should also watch for subtle signs in player availability and rotations. Minutes allocation, practice participation, and even who is listed as questionable can hint at management's intentions. Observing these patterns can give clues about upcoming moves, whether they involve role players, potential trades, or adjustments to the starting lineup. The Lakers have to balance short-term performance with long-term planning, and this careful management is part of why timing a trade during a home stretch is so advantageous. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on. In what is rapidly becoming one of the most talked about sagas in the NBA this season, whispers around Los Angeles suggest that locker room tensions are simmering, with the Lakers at the epicenter. The latest spark? Veteran sharpshooter J.J. Redick, known both for his on-court precision and candid off-court commentary, was recently spotted offering a heartfelt send-off to RUI HACHIMURA, who has been linked to a potential move to the Golden State Warriors. "I just hope he's happy over there," Redick reportedly said in a moment that some insiders describe as both warm and quietly loaded with subtext. The comment, while seemingly innocuous, has fueled speculation that internal dynamics in LA may be more fragile than publicly acknowledged. HACHIMURA, a promising talent with a unique blend of size and agility, has drawn the attention of multiple franchises, but the Warriors' potential interest has fans and pundits buzzing. Redick's farewell, interpreted by some as a tacit acknowledgement of the Lakers' struggles to retain star players, comes amid reports that the team has been grappling with a patchy string of performances and strategic misalignments. Sources close to the organization suggest that conversations about roster changes have intensified behind closed doors, with the Lakers hierarchy weighing the delicate balance between rebuilding around veteran leadership and making room for younger talent. While REDICK himself remains a respected figure in the league, his remarks may hint at an undercurrent of frustration or resignation regarding the team's current trajectory. Social media has been quick to dissect every nuance, with fans debating whether the parting words signal an imminent trade or merely a personal gesture to a teammate on the move. Meanwhile, the Warriors, always attentive to potential roster upgrades, are said to be closely monitoring developments in LA. If HACHIMURA were to join the Bay Area squad, it could reshape championship conversations and reignite old rivalries. Analysts have been speculating about how the fit might work, from rotations to defensive schemes, and whether REDICK's comments were meant to subtly highlight the allure of a change of scenery. Whatever the outcome, the Lakers find themselves under scrutiny, not just for wins and losses, but for the chemistry and morale of a team that has seen its fair share of upheavals. REDICK's send-off might just be the opening note in a summer of speculation, trades, and whispered negotiations that could redefine the contours of the NBA landscape. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.